So you want to know how to keep your hair without having to use Finasteride or Rogaine? Well, stick around, because I'm going to drop some knowledge from here into you, ancient knowledge that I don't hear anybody else on YouTube talking about. So let's get right to it. So first off, the stuff I'm going to talk about is just to maintain the hair you have already. So I'm not saying that these techniques are going to make a guy that's bald sprout hair, but this will maintain the hair that you already have. It'll preserve what you have. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is Moises, and I've had 2 hair transplants. So this hair right here is the result of 2 hair transplants. I had my first transplant in August of 2018, 1,600 grafts, and then my second hair transplant in August of 2019, 650 grafts. That was just like a little mini procedure to refine the hairline and make it look tip-top, perfect shape. So I'm gonna discuss what I do personally, and I really believe this works. And I don't see anybody else on YouTube talking about this, because most other YouTubers, they're trying to sell you stuff. They're trying to make you buy a product or send you to some Amazon link. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just dropping knowledge that is actually ancient knowledge and that I don't see anybody else talking about. So you're like, well, what is this ancient knowledge, Moises? What are you waiting for? Just tell us. Basically, you don't masturbate. You don't do it every day or 3 times a day. And now I'm going to tell you the logic behind this. The logic is that a man's semen is very powerful. It's basically the champagne of the fluids in a man. It's basically more valuable than blood itself. And when you're blasting, your baby batter every morning, that exhausts your body. Like, your body's like, whoa, we just lost all that champagne. Well, gotta put the production line back in and rev everything up. And your body then dedicates a ton of resources to making more semen. And that takes resources away from other parts of the body, including your hairline. And I know it sounds nuts, and I know it sounds crazy, but if you guys read up on the NoFap movement, they say you start seeing benefits after 30 days. And just doing 30 days is really hard. But then you go for 30 days, then it becomes 60, then it becomes 90. After 90 days, you're basically a Superman. If you can last 90 days without, doing the, what's it called? The 5-finger shuffle? There's all these euphemisms for it, but I don't want to say it too much because I don't want my video to get banned or anything. But basically, if you abstain from masturbation, you are going to preserve that energy in your body. And that's why I want to talk about this ancient wisdom, because in a lot of ancient cultures, they said, like the kings of China, they would practice semen retention. That's what it's actually called. And because back in ancient China, they believed that, and I kind of believe it too, that that semen is like energy in your body. It's like chi. In other cultures, they call it prana. In our culture, we would call it life force or nerve force. Basically, when you lose all that semen, you exhaust your body. And you can tell that there's changes in your body because, if you masturbate, right after you do it, and every guy knows this, you feel like tired, like you want to go roll over and go to sleep. If you were planning on going to the gym that day and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to bust one out. And then after it comes out, you're like, you know what, maybe I'll skip the gym. It totally demotivates you because hormone levels get all affected. And those hormones are real. Like your body's like depleted. And it has to now work at replenishing you. And that is exhausting on the body. Now, there's a bunch of literature on this, and the point of this video is not to convince you. I'm just telling you what I do. There's a bunch of stuff. You can just Google it, NoFap, semen retention, and you can decide for yourself. But this is what I'm doing, and it's really changed my life. I, I used to be overweight, but then after the hair transplant, I wanted to do everything possible to make it a success. So I read about this semen retention. I said, okay, I'm going to start this. And I did. I started it right after the hair transplant because in my mind, I'm like, this should help because I'm not exhausting my body. My hair follicles will grow more. And it seems to have worked. But it started spilling over to other parts of my life. It seems that since I had so much self-restraint, I was able to do other things. Like all of a sudden I had energy to start working out. And not working out like in the past where I would work out for maybe, 2 weeks or a month and then quit. No, I'm able to work out consistently to the point where my body looks totally different than it did before the hair transplant, before I started the semen retention journey. And just because of that, I'm like, this shit works. This is real. There's something to this, and there's just anecdotal evidence to this too. It's like they always tell athletes, don't have sex before a competition, and boxers, you know, don't spill your seed before you go into the boxing ring because it will deplete you. There's a truth to that, at least from my experience. So that's like the easiest thing you can do if you want to preserve your hair. And there's other benefits. There's like an energy boost. There's a mental clarity, and I don't know. There's just like this inner confidence that comes through you after you stop doing it. It's really hard to explain, and I know a bunch of you think I'm nuts right now, but that is like number one thing you can do, and it's so easy because I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm asking you to stop doing something. It's like when people want to when people want to lose weight. It's not about exercising more. It's really about eating less. Same thing with this. I'm not asking you guys to take pills and you know do extra things. I'm asking you to do less and let your body take care of you. All right? All right. The other thing I do that I know for sure contributes to maintaining a healthy body and healthy hair is I do intermittent fasting. You're like, what the heck is that? Well, basically, intermittent fasting is when you eat your food during the day only between specific times of the day. So like for me, I skip breakfast. I don't have breakfast, but I have like a very early lunch. Like I'll start eating around 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's when I'll have my breakfast or lunch, and then I have my dinner usually no later than 4 o'clock. So, or even as early as 3 o'clock. So basically I cram my whole day's eating into this short little window. And to me, it feels like I'm eating like a pig because I'm kind of eating when I'm not even that hungry. So it feels kind of like I'm overeating, but I'm not. And I have like, lunch and dessert, then I have dinner and dessert. So it's like 4 little meals all scrunched together. And now the reason that this seems to promote hair growth is because after I'm done eating at like 4 o'clock, I won't eat anything. I won't even eat a strawberry, or an almond until 11 a.m. or noon the next day. Now, the reason that this is good for the body is because after approximately 5 hours, whatever food I ate, the body has extracted all the energy it can from that. And then after 5 hours, that's when you usually become hungry. Your body's like, okay, where's the next hamburger, Moises? Come on, it's time. And then if you don't give in to that feeling, your body's then is like, oh, damn, he's not going to give us that hamburger. Well, I guess I'm going to have to start using the resources of his body. And during that time, the body switches from digesting, which takes a lot of energy. Have you guys noticed that when you eat a big meal, you're tired for like a long time afterwards? It's because it exhausts your body to digest food. Digestion is a big process for a human being. And so when you fast, you give that digestive system a break, which means the body then is like, okay, well, usually I spend most of my energy digesting Moises' hamburgers. But since I don't have to do that, I can do other things. Guess what I'll do? I'll repair his skin cells. I'll repair his little follicles on on his scalp. And basically, the process is called autophagy. That's when it literally means, I think autophagy comes from some Greek word that means the body eating itself. But during that time, it's also a restful time because it resources are not being dedicated to basically your guts, but to the other parts of your body. So people that do intermittent fasting notice more energy, they notice mental clarity, they notice better skin, and there's some studies. I'll try to put some of them in this video or link to them. But apparently, it raises human growth hormone levels when you do intermittent fasting. Like if you fast after, I believe, 12 to 14 hours, it's just like some natural thing where the body emits more human growth hormone. And as you guys know, human growth hormone helps with muscles. It helps with keeping you young looking. Some of the movie stars, they get that injected into them because they say it keeps them young. But you can produce your own HGH if you do intermittent fasting. So I also credit intermittent fasting to the success of this hair transplant. Because like I said, I don't take Finasteride or Rogaine or do anything else other than this and the next topic that I'm going to talk about. So the next thing I believe really has helped, preserving my hair is that I eat relatively healthy. I would say 90% of the food that I eat, like I make it. I've learned how to cook, especially because of the quarantine. Even before then, I was already, learning how to cook. But now I'm like a chef. Like I cook really good food, and it tastes so much better than anything you would buy. So the thing is, you gotta eat right. You can't overeat because see, that's why I was fat in the past, because I used to overeat. I used to eat till that point where you feel like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I just want to rest. I want to watch TV. Now I need my TV time. I just ate so much. And then I watch TV 1, 2, 3 hours. And then just when I'm starting to feel better, oh, well, now it's dinner time. And the whole cycle starts all over again. So I was in this gross cycle where I ate and the food took energy away from me when it shouldn't be that way. Food should give your body energy, not take it away. And that's something that finally clicked in my head. I was like, wait, so after I eat, I shouldn't feel so tired. That's not normal. I should feel more energetic after an hour, not more tired. And so that led me to like intuitive eating and healthier eating. And yes, I eat a lot of like fruits and vegetables and organic ground beef. Yeah, I do that now. But I guess it all comes in like a package deal with self-improvement, the hair transplant, semen retention, intermittent fasting. It all just like you kind of want to eat healthy. You want to eat fruit after a while. And I do drink alcohol, but like no more than once a month. And that's something I also wanted to say. Like I think some people are like, "Oh, you should never drink alcohol." Well, no, I think you should. I think it's necessary, to be honest, for its relaxation effects. Like, I don't think you should get so drunk that you black out. But yes, like once in a while, it's good to have a drink and just, let loose and feel good. And those relaxation effects, I think, really help reduce stress. So, but of course, it's hard to keep your weight off if you overdo it. But honestly, if it was possible, I would be drunk every day. But you can't have abs and drink every day. But the point is, you have to start consuming foods that have life in it. So the closer they are to being alive, technically that's what's healthier for you. So that's why they say, yeah, fruits, vegetables, they're kind of still alive when you're eating them. And that energy of life transfers into your body and helps with all these little micronutrients and everything. I really think that has a really positive effect. And you'll notice it in your energy levels, your skin, and yes, your hair. And I know oh yeah, so this is a secret, and I've mentioned this once, and there was a subscriber that said, don't eat those, they're trash. And I'm talking about pork rinds. I eat pork rinds every day, and you're like, why? And the reason is they're really rich in collagen. And I know you can get collagen pills and collagen supplements. But you guys, you got to remember that we're human. We're a human machine. And our bodies are made to digest biological dead things. So there's collagen in pork rinds. Your body is able to extract the collagen much easier from a pork rind, from a piece of bacon, than a pill. Our bodies aren't really designed to extract energy from pills. They're designed to extract energy from, well, dead plants, leaves, and animals. It's just the way it is. It sounds gross, but it's just the way it is. You put the pork rind in your intestines, it knows, okay, it's a dead animal. It's going to rip it apart, pull out the collagen, and whatever else gets sent down the tube, right? But a pill, it's like, ew, what is this? Okay, this is basically, if something didn't exist over 100 years ago, if that food didn't exist 100 years ago, you probably shouldn't be eating it, you know? So I think the thing they said was, if your grandmother's grandmother can't recognize the food, don't put it in your mouth. It's not real food. And the other good saying is, real food rots. You guys heard of that lady that had a McDonald's hamburger from like 1996 and it hadn't rotted? I mean, if even bacteria don't want to eat it, why should you be eating it? So food is really, really important. And I think if you guys eat healthy, it'll definitely keep your hair grafts alive and beautiful and shiny, and you won't need to take anything. And there's one last tip I have. So the last thing is stress. Yes, stressing out about losing your hair will make you lose your hair. The more you stress about it, the more you're gonna lose it. You gotta just, take care of yourself and know that your body will take care of you. It's like, I lost my hair during a really stressful time. Essentially, I was going through a divorce. You know when you first fall in love, how you fall in love, and then when you break up, it feels like the end of the world. Well, it really was like the end of the world for me. I was one of those guys that was like crying every day. I heard the sad song on the radio and I was like, that song's for me and I'm dying and it's like I can't live anymore. And like, yes, it was that bad. And that's when I lost my hair. So after that, I was like, oh man, like I noticed within months after that, and it was some guy at work and he was like, you're losing your hair. And I was like, what a jerk. And then I looked in the mirror and I was like, wait, maybe he's onto something. And the only thing that had been going on during that time, I hadn't changed my diet or anything, but my stress levels had gone through the roof because of the breakup. So now we all have different triggers. Like for me, I guess those love things are the trigger. For other people, it's money problems. And it's usually that, right? It's like our relationships and money are like the number one worries. But whatever it is, we gotta remember that all these things that are happening in the external world, they're really, it's really not so much about that, but the way we react to them. It's like we have a choice to freak out or to sit or to take a deep breath and be like, all right, I got dumped. This can be handled. I can handle this shit. Or I can be like, oh fuck, I got dumped. Oh my god. It's over. You have a choice. So you guys gotta choose to be strong motherfuckers. Don't be weaklings. Don't let life get you down. You're the one in control, not your external circumstances, okay? So handle your stress. When they say, to handle stress, you should do deep breathing and meditation. It sounds like bullshit, and I thought like that for years. It's complete bullshit. Breathing is gonna help. You know what? It does. It does. And if you guys can, once every night, probably before going to bed, it really helps just to like breathe in. Do that like 10 times. Do it like, count it once, like breathing in and out. Count that as one, like. But do it slower. I did it really fast for the camera. But do that 10 times. And then by the 10th time, you'll feel better. You will feel better. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to feel as good as after having a margarita, but you will feel better. You will feel calmer. And stressing out about losing your hair will make you lose your hair. So if you get a hair transplant, you got to think of it as set it and forget it. That's what I did. And I'm doing all these other things that I feel really help to keep my hair, because pills and medicines, they treat the symptoms, not the causes. You know, you're the cause. You know, it's your reactions, your stress hormones, you know, are the ones that are destroying any hair growth or creating the hair loss. It's the crappy food you're eating that's destroying your hair gains. You know, if you put in the right data into this machine, you'll get the right answers. You know, it's really kind of that simple. So those are my tips. And these tips, you know what they cost? Zero. But you know who's ultimately responsible? You. All of this, all the power is in you, not in products and not in anything else. It's just literally you. You have to take control of your life and decide, I want to be better and I can do this, you know, a different way. So write in the comments what you think of this, and I'll try to answer questions and maybe make a follow-up video, because I didn't think I was going to talk this long, but I don't know, how else do you tell people these things, right? Without sounding like a crazy person that's not crazy. So I hope this video was helpful. And yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is my last hair-related video, but there will be more videos coming up. So stay tuned, all right? My name's Moises Amaya, and I'm out.